Hey there guys, welcome back. Today we're going to chat about the difference between scaling and testing. So obviously testing tends to precede scaling, but what do you have to get in place first before you can think about scaling up? That's what we're going to discuss. So testing is what every business needs to do before we scale. So we need to test our marketing, our sales, and our delivery systems and get those right so that ultimately we're not scaling something that doesn't scale, or we're not putting more fuel on a fire that ultimately isn't going to burn down. So let me explain that. If we're testing our marketing, what we need to do there is figure out where our target market exists, where do they live, how do we access them, and which channels are options for us to generate leads. Now, in this beginning stage, what we're going to do is test these channels, but every channel does have a length of time whereby you need to give it time to see if it's going to work. Therefore, in this stage, what we need to do is test these different channels and ultimately figure out which one generates us the best leads for the cheapest price. That's testing and marketing. From there, what we want to do is create a sales process and obviously then test that as well. Get some numbers behind us and know what we need to shoot to. And then ultimately, it's what we sell and how we deliver. So where we want to get to with the testing phase is understand how many leads we need to generate, how many sales we can generate each month based on that lead flow, and therefore what our ROI will be based on our customer LTV. So if we've got that in place, then we can think about how do we just throw more fuel on the fire and let it run. Because ultimately, if we haven't done our numbers and we haven't figured out what it is like to scale, and we don't know whether we're actually going to scale a profitable business or whether we're just going to be scaling basically an unprofitable business, a business that ultimately, if we put $1 in, we might get 90 cents return. Obviously, if we try to throw too much fuel on that fire, we're going to be out of business very quickly. Whereas if we throw $1 into marketing and we get 3 back, then we know we can scale this as quickly as possible. And all that comes down to having the figures behind our lead generation, our sales, and ultimately that time that a customer is going to stay with us and therefore calculating the lifetime value of our customer. That's what the testing phase needs to give you. You need to become really focused on those figures that are ultimately going to produce the scalability for your business.